Hey everybody, this is chapter 2. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt because I just did chapter 1 probably about an hour and a half ago and decided to try to knock out another chapter. There's only 7 of them, so it's not like it's a major thing. Plus, this one is, I think, 2,500 words or something. It's only 10 pages, so it's not like it's the other one, which was like almost 20 or 20 plus pages. So here we go. Chapter 2, A Walk in the Woods. We'll start by, I'm gonna go through off screen when it comes to doing the chapter marks, because I'm not sure how I'm gonna word those. I'm not sure if I'm gonna call them chapters, segments, videos. I'm probably gonna just call them videos because, well, that would make sense. The name of the fucking book is videos. But I will be taking a whack at this. Hopefully it won't be as long as the last video, because the last video was 3 sub videos long, so that's why it looks the way it does on there. So let us begin. A Walk in the Woods. Opening the front door, I saw my mom in the kitchen and my stepdad still watching TV. Neither seemed to notice I had been gone all day, or that I was even home for that matter. Well, good to see you guys. Good to see you too, guys. I'm good, by the way, just bleeding like a stuffed pig. I thought as I made my way upstairs. Plopping the old box on my bed, I went to the bathroom, untied the jerry-rigged bandage. I knew it wasn't going to be fun. And untied the jerry-rigged bandage. I knew it wasn't going to be fun cleaning this gash out. It was deep. Because it was deep. But not bad enough that stitches would be needed. However, it would leave a badass scar. Who knows, maybe it would help him and help me with the ladies. Who knows, maybe it would help me with the ladies. Yeah, there you go. I looked in the cabinet and found a bottle of alcohol with some bandages. Taking out my phone, I looked up a video on how to properly clean the now very red and hot wound. Shit, I hope this isn't infected. Mom will kill me and Rob would help bury me just to get rid of me. Fuck. Okay. I'll just clean this out as best I can. And in a day or two, it gets bad, I'll say I got jumped. No, wait, it's a small town. No way that'll work. Okay. I'll say on the way home I tripped on something and got cut by some glass. Okay, that works. Having a plan now, I grabbed the bottle, pouring the hell water all over my arm. I pressed play on the video to cover the small yelp that I had to stifle. Yeah. Having a plan now, I grabbed the bottle, pouring the hell water all over my arm. I pressed play on the video to cover the small yelp that I had to stifle. Standing there in the bathroom, my body tense as I screamed silently. Jesus fucking Christ, and a hooker. That hurt. The video played, saying I had to now scrub the wound with a rough or bristled brush to help irrigate any debris or contaminants out while flushing with sterile water. Well, shit. I need to find. There we are. There we are. Grabbing a thin, long toothbrush box, I was sad to see it was empty. Through grit teeth, I couldn't help but be annoyed. Okay, that's just freaking great. So we'll sign. Looking down, though, I saw my toothbrush, and after considering the next best thing, God damn it, why did it ignore all the lowercase i's? What the fuck? Okay. Looking down, though, I saw my toothbrush, and after considering the next best thing I had was toilet paper, it was pretty obvious that I needed to do what I needed to do. Biting my lip, I snatched up the dirty brush and started scraping the foamy red cuts. The pain only numbed slightly by the adrenaline, but still not dulled completely. I grunted with each vigorous rub until I couldn't take it anymore. The blood now freshly running out of the wound, rinsed down the drain. Grabbing a towel, I covered it and put pressure to try and stop it from getting any worse. Fuck. Taking deep breaths, I knew I screwed up. Clutching the towel to my chest, I searched for how to close a bad cut and laughed, seeing the video of how to use glue to seal up bad gouges. Opening my desk drawer, I sifted through the junk until I found a small glue container. Going back to the sink, I took the bloody towel away and saw that the bleeding had finally slowed down. Hitching the cut closed, I squirted the thin liquid over the seal and grunted as it felt like hot coals being raked over it. It took forever for the largest of the cuts, but the others weren't as bad. Exhausted from the ordeal, I wrapped my arm and lay down on the bed next to the box. I knew there was no way to hide the injury, but even with my shitty alibi, I'm sure my parents wouldn't really care. Closing my eyes, I felt my body relax as the pain started to subside. I felt like crap, but it wasn't for nothing. Looking at the box of old and new cameras, my excitement made the pain fade away even more. Shuffling through the contents, I found a weird-looking bubble-like camera. After fiddling with it for maybe 5 minutes, I found the memory card and plopped it into my computer. There were a few short clips, followed by one long one. Must not have used it too much. Clicking on the first short video, it was of a room. It didn't seem to have Clicking on the first video, it was a room. It didn't seem to have any shaking, but when I moved the cursor, the whole picture shifted, and I realized it was one of those new 360 cameras. Oh, sweet, this will be cool. Spinning the spinning the view around. No. Spinning the view around, an attractive woman was holding the camera while reading the instructions before you see her. Reading the instructions. Before you see her look at what I assume. While reading the instructions, before you see her look at what I assume was the top of the camera to stop the recording. You see her look at what I assume was the top of the camera and stop recording. Cool, this is worth some money. Third was a video. Just a quick walkthrough of the girl's apartment as she was testing the audio quality. She lived in a nice place, but again, it cut off after only a few minutes. The thumbnail for the final video was of some trees. When I clicked it, the same woman was standing outside of her car. In a beautiful wooded area. I clicked it, the same woman was standing outside of her car. A beautiful wooded area was all around her. She said something, but the audio was muffled, and when I spun the camera, it was apparent that it was because the camera was in a protective case. From what I could make out, it seems she was going for a nature walk for her parents who couldn't physically hike anymore. The video was meant to be viewed in a virtual reality headset. Me, not being a rich kid, didn't have one, so I had to watch just viewing the forest with my mouse. The view was beautiful. I didn't recognize the area, but wherever they were had amazing mountain views, and it was fall. Her hike was spotted with parts where she would stop and take in the experience. The crunch of the leaves were, like the rest of the video, muffled. A minute or two of her walking, I had to mute the audio from the annoying sound, but the view was great. Maybe 10 minutes had passed, and the one shitty thing about this fucking computer and this mouse is that if you try to use the scrolly thingy, it has a tendency to say fuck you, and it'll scroll back up when you're trying to click on something, and it's a dick. Okay. Maybe 10 minutes had passed, and I was completely engrossed in this video before it all of a sudden started going very fast. Thinking I hit the fast forward button somehow, I paused it, and when I played it again, it was still going fast. Still going fast. Spinning the camera view around, I saw that she wasn't speeding up the footage. She was running, and she was scared given the look of terror on her face. I searched the frozen scene. Pausing the video. Spinning the camera view around. Okay. When I played it again, it was still going fast. Pausing the video and spinning the camera view around, I saw that she wasn't speeding up the footage. She was running, and she was scared, given the look of terror on her face. I searched the frozen scene, but couldn't see what was chasing her. Pressing play, I watched as closely as I could. The video stopped again, and the woman's head swiveled around, and in an instant she bolted in a different direction. Pausing again, I swung the camera to see in the direction she was facing, and I felt my body tense. There was a leg, as if someone was hiding behind a tree, just visible for a second. No shit, what am I watching? Oh shit, what am I watching? Should I be watching this? The thoughts of what the implications were from this, I had to know. Hesitation filled me as I pressed the button again. As I pressed the button again, trying to keep an eye on whatever that figure was. I followed the few glimpses I could catch, and the shadow of the person was huge. Very clearly a man. He had to be almost 7 feet tall. He moved so unbelievably fast that I almost couldn't track him. Several seconds of the camera jerking in all directions until when the girl looked back and the view of the forest ended. It was replaced by a gray rock speeding by. Spinning the camera, the woman's face was contorted in a way that made my stomach churn before violently impacting the ground. Her face exploding upon impact with a boulder. Sitting in silence for a minute, the video kept playing. I felt my stomach lurch and I puked into my trash can. I spun the camera away from the horrible sight, her body still twitching. Sitting in shock, I took a few more deep breaths. After dry heaving again. Seeing there was a few minutes left, I scanned it to the end, stopping when I saw the camera move again. Pressing play, I am a comma nerd. Like, I will put a comma everywhere just to be on the safe side. Pressing play, it looked like the camera was lifted up. Scanning the panorama, I stopped when the face of the large man came into view. It's some kind of mask made out of a collage of doll faces embedded directly into his skin. His eyes seem to look over the camera before he bends down, hefting the now dead woman's body with ease onto his shoulder. A few steps later, the video ends. Sitting back in my chair, I felt dread and I tried to rationalize what I just witnessed. No way this was real. No person could move as fast as that guy did. When did he even start following her? How did the camera end up in this box? It was some time before I could snap out of the trance-like state. I found myself in, and I think the only reason I did was because I heard my mother. I found myself in. What the fuck? Oh, the trance-like state I found myself in. Before I could. Okay, it was some time before I could snap out of the trance-like state I found myself in, and I think the only reason I did was because I heard my mother call me down for dinner. Having just vomited out my insides, and the image of that girl's head firmly burned into my memory, I was not feeling the whole eating thing. Okay. I shouted down that I would eat later. I knew in my current condition they would see through whatever lie I told them. However, I felt a compulsion to rewatch the video to see if there were any clues as to if this was just a really well done fake video, or if I just seriously watched a woman get stalked and forced off a cliff. Starting the video over again, it didn't take long for me to find the strange man. The woman was leaving her car, stepping down into a ditch to make it to whatever trail she was on. Searching the area, I couldn't see much, but when a minute or two passed, she made her first stop, and when I searched the background, I saw the distinct outline of the man in oh god, that's driving me nuts. I couldn't see much, but when a minute or two passed, she made her first stop, and when I searched the background, I saw the distinct outline of the man in a tree. In a tree, pulling what looked like a body bag up the trunk, then looking in the unaware woman's direction before hastily tying the bag in place and jumping to the ground. I was shocked that he hadn't snapped his ankle with the hoodie. All throughout the video, I watched this giant of a man move silently. As he stalked this person up until she caught a glimpse of him. That's when she started running in his unusual speed and almost acrobatic movements through the woods. That's when she started running in his unusual speed and almost acrobatic movements through the woods, kept him on her tail with ease. He would be on the ground 1 second, and the next he would be halfway up a tree. When I got to the cliff, I turned the camera away so I didn't have to see the woman die again. A man was standing looking down over the ledge before walking into the woods. Looking in the direction he had to have come from when picking up the camera, I found the man walking down the cliff face completely parallel to the ground. No wires or rope, just one slow, calm step after the other until reaching the bottom. Stopping the video, I knew this had to have been fake. Opening up a search, I tried to narrow it. Stopping the video, I knew this had to have been fake. Opening up a window on my computer, I tried to narrow the search by looking for trails with mountain ranges. I spent so much time investigating I hadn't noticed the time. The hall light flicked off and I heard Rob and Mom go to bed. I kept searching and finally I found a similar trail. It was simply called The Point, and according to the article attached to it, picture, it was a popular suicide spot, either by those hanging themselves from the tall trees or leaping to their deaths off the 500-foot cliffs. Okay, this has to just be a school project or something. A movie made in bad taste of other people's misfortunes or shock value. Just too much unbelievable stuff. I'm just tired. I need to go to bed. I'll watch the others after school tomorrow. There. Shock value, just too much unbelievable stuff. I'm just tired and need to go to bed. I'll watch the others after school tomorrow. There's just no way any of this was real. Taking out the memory card, I put it back into the camera for safekeeping, and went to bed. Alright. So that was chapter 2. Right now, it's mostly just putting in the quotation marks and making sure everything flows. Holy shit! I added about 60 words, 70 words of that. So I'm now at 18,728 for word count. I'm gonna probably be around 19,000 by the time I'm done, which is kind of where I want to go. I want between 19 to 20,000 words for this. I don't want it to be too fucking giant. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be uploading this probably... fuck it, I'll just upload it now, get it out of the way, because that way people can watch this along with the other ones. So... on that note, y'all have a good rest of your night, and peace out. Oh, helps if I hit the fucking button now, don't it?